FS22 and we are in full-on time-lapse mode today because as part of my catching up on creating videos, I just did this one sat chilling out, doing some forestry today. This is going to look at fixing a couple of bugs or the bug fixes that Giants claim they have put in for a couple of forestry related issues. The first one we're going to look at is whether when you take lumber to a production, if that production fills up, whether it still steals all your wood like it used to. And if you've watched this series, you will have seen happen quite frequently to me early on when I would deliver a whole trailer full of wood to the lumber mill before I realised, and it would pay me for a tiny bit and take the rest. So Giants claim they have fixed that bug. The other one I'm going to look at is where the trees explode still. So I have been avoiding cutting down things like basically anything other than the trees that I'm doing now, because they keep exploding and they are a pain to load onto the trailer. So we're going to do a load which is the nice easy to work trees. We're going to take that up to the carpentry which we own and fill that up, and then hopefully we're going to go to the sawmill and sell some logs there as well, and just check that we don't lose half of our trees, because we're going to have a lot more than the carpentry will take on the trailer, so we'll be able to test that. And then I'm really keen to test whether we can actually cut down the rest of the trees, because we don't have many trees left, and I got to the point where I was just destroying them with the lumberjack mod because they weren't worth the stress. Getting a quick thumbnail there. After that we are going to get into some baling. I'm cutting these trees down just to clear a slightly easier area to work with the mower and the baler, and we're also going to do the headlands around the two new fields that we have purchased. They're fairly big headlands, so I'm hoping we'll get a decent amount of bales off of there and make some more silage bales to sell. I think we're still okay for hay, and we'll do a first cut in the spring which we'll make into hay for the sheep and the horses. Not riding the horses yet, I'm just letting them mature a little bit. They are still only maybe a month or two old. Just feeding them a little bit of hay. We'll feed them oats once we've harvested some oats, and we'll start to worry about their fitness and stuff once they are a bit older, particularly once they have matured and are getting to the point where they can get into having foals. At that point we'll worry about whether they are suitably healthy or not. What else has been going on in Farm Sim lately? I've whinged about the DLC enough, the disappointing licensed content. That's my new description for it. Watched an episode of the Farm Sim show the other day, learned that apparently you don't pour pesticide into an Xbox. Who knew? And it seems like some stuff hasn't been fixed for the console guys, and they lost a bunch of slots. Do I understand why Giants did that? Yeah, if console games were crashing, and if that crashing was because the systems just couldn't cope with it, the best way to deal with that is to drop the number of slots and or, which I think they've done both, increase the number of slots that some vehicles use, because that just means the computer's not going to struggle as much with loading some of the assets up. So let's get this up to the carpentry. And yeah, a bit more space. We need to pull forward the other trailer. Yep, it's left our spare logs behind, so we can now sell those to the sawmill because they have a pretty good price. Then we'll go back and cut up some oak. So we'll do one of these, which we just put through the back of the Unimog, which is a little bit silly, but the tree hasn't exploded. The textures look a little bit strange, but it hasn't exploded, which is really nice. You may spot that the tractor now has the mulcher on the back, but there's an outtake at the end of the video which should explain why that's on there. I had some fun. Yeah, that's in the outtakes. So let's get this guy loaded up, and then we'll tackle another tree which is slightly more unfriendly, or was slightly more unfriendly prior to update 1.3. As I say, I'm really hoping I can make use of all these logs, because we are going to need that extra income. Next video we'll probably be looking at getting our sugarcane planter. Yep, we are doing sugarcane on here still. Let's see how this tree goes. Seems to be okay. I know the last time I did one of these, pretty much as soon as I got into limbing it up, it exploded, and we had all sorts of fun times. So I'm fairly confident that Giants have addressed the forestry issues. If you've been doing forestry and you're still getting problems, let me know, because I've only done a very small sample of 2 trees. I have been able to bring these up and get them loaded up onto the trailer without any issues. I don't think I'll bother showing that because it was just me loading another trailer up. Getting all the little pieces that I can pick up on the back of the Unimog, because they don't take up space in the trailers because they still don't load brilliantly. They're not straight like the nice trees are. I should learn which species the different trees are. Right, let's get these loaded up. Maybe I do show some of it. This is just going to give us a nice little bit of extra income, get some cash in, and just clears a bit of space. We do still need to clear this area for future farming, maybe even if it's only just for grass work. The views are down on, well, I say they're down. The views are lower on this series than pretty much anything else that I do, so I am very definitely moving on from here at the end of this game year. Once we get the harvests done on here, just get these sold to the biomass heating plant. How much money we make? 5 grand for the first one, and then another 3 grand. So not bad, 8 grand for those 2 trees. Happy with that. Just coming up to the store on the next morning to get some chicken feed. If you're on Discord, this is the bit that I've recorded twice because I played a whole load, an hour, and didn't hit save due to some distractions. So we're doing it all again. So we're only feeding the new chicken pens. I am waiting for the old chicken pen to run out of food, and then we are going to sell those chickens off and sell that chicken pen and clear the space up for some more shed storage, I think. So we have 400 chickens across these 2 pens, which is more than enough. I do have a video coming after this, I think, which goes over the what's happened to chickens and why they don't seem to make as much money. But let's get going on making some silage bales. So we've got the mower on the front of the Unimog and the baler on the back, and we're just going to do some single pass baling. It's an option for getting the job done. We do have a massive windrower, and what we don't have is big mowers, so I think it makes sense to do it like this. We have to do lots of passes with the mower anyway, because we only have the single mower, so we may as well do that. Just showing here that if you become a channel member, you can get into the game. So that was Small Farmer and Just Dad Adam, who are the 2 channel members I have on YouTube, and they are both landowners here on Baling, and adding those into all of the Let's Plays. Since I recorded this, the mod came out where you can name helpers, and I'll be doing that too, and you'll have seen that in the Calmston video, which I recorded after this but will have been released before this. So yeah, if you become a channel member, the button is below. One of the incredible benefits you will get is you get to be in my game. Yeah. Other benefits are an exclusive channel on the Discord for channel members, and just making me less grumpy, which, yeah, why wouldn't you want to do that? So you'll see some of this grass is cutting and leaving grass behind, some is not. I think it's just the way that it's fairly patchy headland grass. I could extend this field into the headland quite a lot, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep it for getting some grass because it will be useful for the animals, particularly as the sheep breed and expand. As I was saying, this will be the last season, so we'll get through harvest on here and we'll be moving on. I'll be moving this to the old stream farm. We're going to take the horses with us, possibly the sheep, and whatever vehicles we have and whatever money we have from what we earn and selling these 2 fields. We can't sell the original fields that we own, and get ourselves set up on the old stream farm. We might sell some of the equipment once we get set up and change how we do things slightly, but that's the plan. And probably a fair few episodes to go. Yeah, but yeah, this series gets the least views of anything that I make, so I need to look at improving it and changing it, because I think we're past it being a survival series, so although the next one will be a series 2, I'm not really going to brand it as a survival series, I don't think. Maybe a thrival, or a thrive, something. Give me your suggestions in the comments for some names for what we can call it. And then Ravenwood will be ending soon as well, and I'm probably going to look at doing another American map. There are some awesome American maps about. There's the Wisconsin one, which I can't remember the name of, which looks really cool, which is a definite possibility. And that has some Maize Plus style feed mechanics in it, which is kind of tempting until we get Maize Plus. Well, it has more complicated TMR, and it has CCM and stuff, so that obviously appeals to me. This is me hitting the wrong key. I was trying to hit G and hitting H and trying to start a workout when there's not. So we're not going to mow all of this, I'm just going to go around and get some of the easy bits, just to get a few more silage bales. Once we have done this, we'll get the bale wrapper out obviously, and then the bales that we made a while ago are fermented, and we are going to get those sold off because we don't need to keep them around, so we might as well get cash. This is me just going to check that yes, they are fermented, and we have fun again loading the bale trailer up with those. I have still not mastered loading that trailer. It seems to have a life of its own, which is kind of amusing when you've got a heavily loaded trailer and you're trying to go relatively fast because it's a long way to the sell point. So just going to finish this bale up, and then we'll call it a day for baling. There is more grass that I could cut, but yeah, I'm not going to go around chasing all of it. And, we'll drop that bale off and we'll go grab the bale wrapper. I'm going to do 13 bales, which is a reasonable number, but we'll get away later because the tractor's in the way. We'll do the bale wrapping with the Unimog as well. This is turning out to be a very, well, I knew it was a very useful vehicle in FS19, and it is in FS22. I suspect, I know you could run, I haven't done it, but I know you could run an entire farm with just the Unimog. I guess unless you needed a front loader, so maybe a Unimog and a telehandler or a skid steer, and you could run a whole farm. You could do a tractorless farm, and that's a series maybe. I've been toying with doing the one tractor challenge again as well. Kind of enjoyed doing that in 19 on Homeworld, and yeah, been toying with doing that again because that was kind of fun. It's kind of an interesting challenge, and there are big maps of that scale about, but I probably won't tackle a map as big as Homeworld with the one tractor challenge again because that was a bit of it's a bit specialist, I think. But yeah, I'm toying with that idea. I certainly will do it at some point. It's one of the series that's on my list. Want to do a contracting series at some point as well, but I'm waiting for more maps because what I want to have is kind of a series where I just jump around all the maps that are about and do some contracts. Got to keep the equipment and the money rolling around the different maps, but yeah, just not be stuck on one map, just travel around. So we're going to get rid of these silage bales now, so get the bale fork on the front. Can't remember if I'll leave the mulch on the back. Mulch was put on the back as a weight, and you'll see why if you keep watching to the end. And it makes a handy weight. It's a bit ungainly, I guess, but at the time I had the weight on the front of the Unimog, so we couldn't steal it. Just accidentally unwrapped a bale there. I think my bale stacking skills, I'm going to say they're getting better, but then things start to go a bit sideways. But I didn't lose my patience and I didn't give up as I may have done in the past, and resorting to super strength, because sometimes bale stacking used to really frustrate me, but now I am much more zen maybe, even though the bales keep falling off and falling over like that. And one thing with this front loader doesn't have enough range of motion for you to flip bales easily, I have found, so we're going to do some one way and some the other. And the problem I have is I have put far too many bales on the back of this trailer behind the where we would want the centre of gravity, and that has interesting effects which we will see as we drive to the store. And if you watched the video where I did this before, you'll have seen it then. Yeah, definitely put way too much weight on the back end of the trailer and not enough on the front where the dolly is. I have learnt I will probably forget when I do it again, but here we go, and we have a trailer which has a front end which has a life of its own. I'm going to take these to the animal dealer to sell because I have to take the front loader over to load them into the VGA, and yeah, we have all sorts of fun with the trailer just freely swinging around behind us. Luckily traffic is fairly quiet and the police aren't about. I'm going to get these sold and then I'm going to call it a day because this has been a fairly long video. So thanks for watching, folks. If you aren't already, click subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the like button. We do not smash like buttons here. Leave me a comment, and yeah, we made a decent amount of money there. Catch you next time. Now for some outtakes. So I was happily driving, and then oh no, even it gets better. The train just went past and did this. Yeah. We have a problem here, and this is where we go grab the mulcher because we need a bit more weight on the back to try and stabilize the tractor. And I thought I'd put this on as a blooper at the end because some people say they like the that kind of thing. So let's try and get ourselves. We still don't have enough weight on the back. I'm going to try and disconnect stuff, but I think I actually end up reconnecting it all, and we're sort of not really making much progress, it feels. There we go, we're done. Let's get this to the store. See ya.